had I known how difficult this film would be, I might not even have attempted it.
Hi, Gints. Thank you so much for being here.
Hello.
Hi. Can I ask, first of all, congratulations for being nominated for Flow. How did this concept arise?
Well, when I was in high school, I had cats like this, two cats actually, but one of them really inspired me to make a short film about a cat who's afraid of water. Mm-hmm. And because it's like this premise about cats being afraid of water, I feel like everyone can understand. We don't need to explain it. And so yeah, I made a short film, and then many years later, I decided to revisit this premise and make a feature film. But this time, it's not just the cat. There's other animals in this boat, and this idea was to kind of tell a story about my own experience of figuring out how to work together with a team and how to collaborate and how to trust others. Because this is the first film that I've made with a team. I used to work alone. So I made even my first feature film by myself. The cat is just kind of this independent character who has to figure out how to trust others. There's no dialogue in this film. That was important, that these characters, these animals, behave like animals. Because I think this makes the story more intense and emotional. To see a real cat going through this story, we care more about it than if it would be like a talking animal telling jokes. It would be like smaller stakes then. And also without dialogue, we can kind of make the film kind of more cinematically, I feel. We can use the music and the sound and the editing and the camera and the lighting in a much more kind of expressive way. And that was important. That was really the most important part for me, to create like an immersive experience about kind of putting you inside these characters' heads, that you feel like you are the cat. And so the camera is like a very active participant. It's really close to the characters, and there's like intimacy with the camera. Like it's not just like observing them from a distance. It's like right there next to them. Like the ideas are less important than the emotion and the kind of experience. That's why it's important to see films like this on the big screen, because you have to pay attention and you have this immersive music and sound and so if like it takes more effort to like see a film like this, but if you do, you also get more invested and more kind of involved and have a stronger emotional journey. So yeah, that was my idea.
So this was really well thought out, and it definitely conveyed it onto the screen. It was amazing. So well done.
Yeah, well, thank you. But like, it wasn't really well thought out. It was like we were just figuring it out while making it. It was a very organic process. Often animation is very kind of rigidly constructed. It's like you just like have a script and then you like draw it precisely and you just follow the plan and you just like follow the formula in some way. But our process is very organic. I think a lot more organic than most animated films. So I don't even draw storyboards. I kind of discovered the film in the process. And even though we had the script, I didn't try to like match it perfectly. If I have a better idea, I can like visualize it in a different way, to have like that freedom to improvise and to kind of and if the team has suggestions, we can kind of incorporate them. I think it's possible to do this in a smaller production. In like a big Hollywood film, it's like you can't take risks like that. You have to really follow the plan, and I think maybe then films start to become more similar. But in a smaller independent production, you can like try some crazy stuff and have more freedom also to tell more personal stories and unconventional stories. That's why I kind of want to stay in that kind of independent area, even after like Flow has had a fair bit of success. I kind of want to work in our studio in Latvia to kind of maintain that independence.
What sparked the passion for animation? Why animation in cinema?
Well, I consider myself a filmmaker first rather than an animator. I used to animate in my previous films, but on this film I was just like designing the story and the camera and like the big picture, but I let the animation, other people do that, animating. So yeah, but I just like telling stories. I like kind of telling stories visually, and I feel like with animation I have more freedom to do that. I can like tell more fantastical stories. I can have like these animal characters, and I can like have these crazy camera moves, which would be really impossible to do any other way. But yeah, I'd like to do also live action films, but the stories that I've kind of come up with so far are just better suited for animation.
What do you think is the most rewarding thing about being a director?
I don't know if I could do anything else. I'm not like an expert in any field, but I can kind of understand the basics of all kinds of things. And as a director, you need to have like this overview. And it's great to like work with people who are actually like better than you and who can like, you can give them the idea and they can push it to like new heights, and it's fun to collaborate. But I like to be hands-on. Like I like to also do things. Like it's nice to like be able to control things, and sometimes you kind of miss that in real life.
What's the best advice that you've ever gotten, and do you think that you can translate that advice to young people like me who aspire to one day direct and act in the big screen?
Well, I just think like you should just like go for it without like over analyzing stuff, without like worrying about being perfect. I think like there's a pressure to being perfect all the time. If you do that, you might not even begin something, and you might miss your opportunity. And I think it's okay just to try, and even if you fail. So I made a bunch of films which are not perfect, which have many flaws, but I think I learned the most by making those films, and it takes a long time. Like you have to like make a lot of mistakes until you actually get good, and like it's sometimes good to be somewhat naive as well, not to know how hard things can be. To like, had I known how difficult this film would be, I might not even have attempted it. So I didn't know how hard it would be, and I kind of figured it out on the way. So.
But it paid off.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Gints.
Thank you.
Congratulations on Flow. It's absolutely incredible. You're an incredible director. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.